Do not justify your words every time you are misunderstood, for ill minds will never grasp good intentions. There exists a silent war, an invisible battlefield where words are twisted, gestures misread, and intentions buried beneath layers of suspicion. You speak with sincerity, yet somehow your honesty is mistaken for arrogance. You offer kindness, but it is met with doubt. There are those who do not see you as you are, but as they expect you to be, filtered through their insecurities, fears, and quiet resentments. Freud understood this deeply. The human mind is not a mirror, but a lens, distorting reality to fit its own preconceptions. No matter how carefully you weave your words, some will hear only what their own darkness allows. They will take offense where none was given, assume malice where none exists, and judge you based on the shadows in their own hearts. And so, the exhausting effort to be understood becomes a losing game, a cycle where you explain, justify, and correct, only to find yourself misread again. But perhaps the mistake is in believing that understanding is owed to us. It isn't. Some will never see beyond their own prejudices, and chasing their approval is like grasping at mist. The harder you try, the more it slips through your fingers. Not all battles are fought in the open. Some are waged in glances that linger too long, in half-smiles that never reach the eyes, in silence that carries the weight of 1,000 unspoken words. You have felt it, haven't you? That quiet resentment from people who should be happy for you. The way some faces tighten ever so slightly at your successes, the subtle withdrawal when you refuse to fit into their mold. It is a hard truth to accept. Some people will dislike you for reasons they themselves do not understand. Maybe your confidence unsettles them. Maybe your happiness reminds them of what they lack. Or maybe, just maybe, you represent the version of themselves they were too afraid to become. But here's the cruelest part. No amount of kindness can change a heart that has already decided against you. You could break yourself into 1,000 pieces, mold yourself to their liking, and still, it would never be enough. Their resentment is not a reflection of your flaws, but of their own unrest. And so, what is left? If neither explanation nor kindness can reach them, what remains? There comes a moment, sharp, clear, and irreversible, when you realize that the weight you have been carrying was never yours to bear, that no matter how much you explain, justify, or soften yourself, some people will always see what they want to see. And in that moment, you are left with a choice. Continue to shape yourself for others, or finally, start living for yourself. This is where freedom begins, not in being understood, but in no longer needing to be. In walking away from the exhausting need to explain yourself to those who have already made up their minds. In realizing that you are not obligated to make everyone comfortable at the expense of your own authenticity. And when you embrace this, a strange thing happens. The world does not end. The people who truly matter remain. And the voices that once sought to diminish you fade into irrelevance. Because in the end, the only validation that truly matters is your own. So, live. Speak your truth, take up space, and let those who cannot handle your presence step aside.